Good morning and welcome to this week's episode of Positive Vibes. And trying to figure out what camera I'm on here. Okay, there we go. I'm on that camera. All right, just a sec here. Let me. Okay, there we go. Good. Let me start over. Good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of Positive Vibes. And again, my name is Shane Nikolic, if you don't already know, and I'm your host for the show. And Positive Vibes, making positivity and gratitude louder in a podcast world. And this morning, I thought I had a guest, but I didn't. And I put out a call on social media, and I haven't had anyone say they want to be a guest this morning. So I'm just going to be, I'm going to be reading another portion of my book, Live the Passionate Life and Quit Settling for Survival. And if you'd like to interrupt my reading and call in and be a guest on my show, or just have a chat for a while, the number is area code 253-777-8864. And again, 253-777-8864. And if that's not the right number, you'll be waking someone up probably. No, that's the number. But at any rate, yeah. Let's see, no comments. So, all right. I figured someone might be commenting, so I'd look on there to see if anyone wanted to be a guest. All right. Well, I'm just gonna pick up where I left off. I think this is where I left off anyway. Pretty sure. And this is from page 96 in my book, getting close to the end. In the world today, okay, and I wrote this book in, actually I didn't write it. Yeah, I wrote it and published it in 2016. So I finished this book in late 2015. But yeah, so, anyway, in the world today, with all of the negativity that is going on, crime, war, disease, etc., darkness seems to be taking over the light, or at least making progress. Every time I turn on the news, which is rare anymore, I hear of another murder, bombing, or whatever the current color of the Homeland Security advisory system is, or nowadays with the coronavirus and the lockdown situation, quarantine, whatever. In the phase of getting out of that, as it were. I don't know where we're at. We just went back to phase 2 for safety's sake, I guess. But at any rate, is so that I know how much fear I should be in regarding a possible terrorist attack. Every day there are kidnappings, robberies, muggings, and assaults taking place all over the world. Disease and illness is adapting and multiplying as if it were alive. People are constantly dying as a result of these and many more negative things. We must not succumb to the negativity in the world if we wish to stay on the path of progress toward the passionate life. I have found that so long as I refuse to give in to the darkness and negativity that exists in the world, and instead do my best to stay positive and bring light wherever I go, my life is better. I am not living in the past or future, but I am living in the present, and there is no room for negativity in the here and now, this tiny speck of time. The past was what it was, and it is gone. Its lessons will carry on, but it is gone. The future is not here yet, but my attitude and actions today will help shape tomorrow's attitudes and actions. If we want to continue moving forward, and working on the realization of our dreams, we must stay positive and stay focused. If we do this and do so with bold enthusiasm, others will see this and they may also become positive-minded people moving in a positive direction. This will happen because of the mirror neurons that I mentioned earlier. If someone puts off a positive vibe, they not only attract positivity into their life. I wasn't looking at the camera, I was looking somewhere else. Anyway, if somebody puts off a positive vibe, they not only attract positivity into their life, they also mirror that positivity onto others. I suppose if one wishes to be eternally stuck in the pool of pessimism, they should not be around positive people if they do not want to be saved from drowning. If we wish to be totally positive, we need to be with positive people, read positive things, listen to positive things, and basically take in nothing but positivity. Of course, it's life, in the world, there's going to be a little negativity, but, you can dwell on that or, choose not to. Some negativity will come our way, but we will be armed and ready to defend ourselves against it. There will be naysayers that try to stop us and hold us back by raining on our parade and showering us with their negativity, but we must persist in holding off their negative energy with the positive aura that surrounds us. We must keep up the umbrella of positivity to protect us from the showers of negativity that will attempt to dampen our spirits in the stormy world we live in. We must not give in to the fears and doubts that may arise from time to time. We must learn to work with them if we expect to work without them. I still have a fear that this book will not be accepted by a publisher and burned to ashes, but I am writing it anyway. Sorry about that. I still have a fear that I will never amount to anything other than a dishwasher, but my hope for something better outweighs the fear. At times when life seems to be going great, I fear that something bad is going to happen. But when it has done so in the past, I have been able to keep on moving forward. Looking over my life up to this point, being honest with myself, only a very small percentage of my fears ever became reality anyway. Some fears are healthy and they keep us safe, such as not walking through bad parts of town for the fear that we might be mugged or shot. Most fears prove groundless, never becoming reality, as a child's bed never does harbor a monster underneath. We must come to the realization that fears are always going to be there, no matter how optimistic we are, and we must learn to carry on to the best of our ability, despite having some fear and doubt inside us. Let us make fear and doubt our passengers and not our drivers. Now, if I were to jump out of an airplane without a parachute, that would be a bold and fearless move. However, that would be a stupid and pointless move if I expected to make it to dinner with my wife that night, let alone be alive at all. In that respect, life has no do-overs, yet we are given second chances at life, and often more than that. I am eternally grateful for the chances I have been given at life, yet I have not felt in my heart that I have actually done everything I could do to be all that I can be. I have always had the drive to survive, but I have not fully felt a charge to live large. That charge is the thing that I have been missing, that was the necessary ingredient for me to move forward in my life with bold enthusiasm. Some enthusiasm is needed to stay afloat. in the world today. With the way things seem to be going, everyone, including myself, leaning toward easier, faster, lazier ways of doing things. Even communicating used to take more energy to do, one having to get a pen and a piece of paper to write a note or a letter to send in the mail. Now they just pull their phone out of their pocket, press a few buttons, and bam, their text message or email is on its way. At times, I find myself fighting the urge to stop pushing so hard to be energetic and do things in a little slower, more thorough, and methodical way. The world seems to be going the way of speed and quantity rather than quality, regardless of how long it takes. We all want to reach our dreams as fast as we can, but we should not skimp on the cement put into the foundation unless we are prepared for a catastrophic collapse of the structure we are building. We must build a sturdy structure upon which to stand if we are to reach our ultimate destination safely. We must take the steps that are necessary for us to reach our dreams, but we must do so with the knowledge that we are going through the process correctly. I would not want to start out full force just to get mostly done and realize I forgot to dot an I or cross a T and the whole document is headed for the shredder. If we are feeling stuck, either in the present or pleasant life, and there is need to progress toward our dreams, then there is a definite need for change. It is time for us to look at the way we are dealing with life. First and foremost, I feel we should look at ourselves and how we treat us. Do we have low or high self-esteem? If we have a low sense of self-worth, that could be the reason we do not move on to better things in our lives, simply because we do not feel as if we deserve to go to the next level. Maybe we feel that we would pull the structure down on our heads because we have done so in the past and do not think that we can get past the setback. Do we reward ourselves for a job well done? When we finish a project with excellence, either a quality job done in a smaller amount of time than anticipated, or simply a fantastic result which surpasses all expectations, do we treat ourselves to a special event or even a day of rest? These are things we must do for ourselves in order to keep up our spirits along the journey toward our dreams. If someone is doing these things for us already, let us compliment their actions by doing them for ourselves as well, if we are so situated. We must feel confident that we can do what needs to be done in order to carry on toward our dreams, lest we stay stuck for a lack of confidence. Looking in the opposite direction, we need to ask ourselves about the way we treat others. How do we interact with them? Are we treating them as lower than ourselves, or do we show them love and respect as they are equals or better? Do we talk with them about how they are, or do we berate them and tell them how we think they ought to be? Do we show them more approval than disapproval? Do we have open lines of communication, or do they shrink from attempting to reach out to us because of our negative attitude? All of the above questions, and any more you can come up with, are very good to ask indeed. They are not required, but they are very helpful for us to judge if our present ways of dealing with ourselves and others are beneficial or not. Either way, if we find we are stuck and not moving forward toward our dreams, chances are that we are negative or have become that way. If we are negative, we need to change because we are giving off negative vibes and pushing away the positive energy that we need to proceed. If we are positive, we need not worry, since we are already stoked up with the proper ingredient for progress. Once we are sure that our attitude and thought life are on the plane of positivity, we can then start putting goodness out into our surroundings, be it in the form of positive words,